I want to thank our officials for being here with us this morning as the committee takes into consideration supplementary estimates B. Mr. MacAulay, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just like to move a motion that we ask the Minister to come on Thursday instead of today, because we know that we will not be able to question her today due to the bells at shortly after 10 o'clock.
It's been moved by Mr. MacAulay that the Minister appear on Thursday before this committee of this week. On the motion. Sorry. Do we have a? We don't have a written motion. No. Mr. MacAulay just he submitted it verbally. His motion.
Read it for us.
He's asking that the Minister would appear on Thursday of this week in light of the fact that the proceedings could be interrupted today. Is that correct, Mr. MacAulay?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Camp?
Well, I think the committee could make the request, but I do know that the Minister has some travel plans on Thursday and will be unavailable.
Thank you, Mr. McCamp. Mr. Camp, thank you. Anything further on the motion? Mr. MacAulay?
It's obvious then, Mr. Chair, that this committee cannot talk to the Minister.
Thank you very much. Anything further on the motion? Are we ready for the question? Those in favour of Mr. MacAulay's motion that the Minister appear on Thursday in light of the fact that the proceedings would be interrupted today, please signify. Those opposed? Motion defeated. Thank you, Mr. MacAulay. As I was saying, I want to welcome you to our committee this morning. And certainly, I know you have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and welcome, gentlemen. I'd like your evaluation, not your opinion, but the evaluation, without any doubt you have it, on the tags, on the trap tags, and how valuable it was as to the fishery. I understand that the government will not be handling the tags issue from this year on. Will it be handled differently in each province? Who will do the management? And how much will it cost the fishermen? Also, there's a great concern from fishermen in my area, and it was understood that the carapace size as was set would be left as is. Is there a plan to move it, which I very much hope not?
Okay, we are moving to see that that fish harvesters will be responsible for the acquisition of equipment gear tags starting 1 April. We have established a protocol that's out with industry. It's on our website. We've been having a number of meetings with industry to explain the requirements of that protocol. A number of organizations are coming forward to submit gear supplier plans to the department for us to approve in order then that they'd be able to provide tags to fish harvesters for fisheries commencing after the 1st of April. That process is underway. We as a department will have internal control audit protocols in place for us to be able to verify that the supplier regimes that will be in place are such that we can rely on them and the integrity of them. And that'll be something that we'll be doing. There will be a requirement that the submission of lists of tags that are issued would be considered as a Section 61 under the Fisheries Act submission so that it would be enforceable by us. The regime will be consistent on an Atlantic-wide basis, so in terms of our requirements, they're the same throughout Atlantic Canada, and the price that fisher harvesters will pay for tags will be determined through the marketplace in terms of determining the most efficient price for the supply of the tags. With regard to carapace size, my presumption is that you're referring to the lobster fishing area 25, where
and 24.
And there are discussions that are underway amongst fish harvester organizations around measures that they may or may not want to come together and propose to the department in terms of changes to the management of the fishery to avoid the kind of situations that occurred last year in terms of poor quality and volumes of landings and so on. That will all come to the department as part of the advisory committee process over the winter period, and on the basis of that, the department would then be making recommendations as appropriate to the minister for any changes that might occur in terms of any of the conservation requirements for lobster fisheries for next year.
Thank you very much, Mr. Balfour, but most people involved in the fishery indicate to me that the tags was one of the most, was one of the best conservation measures that was in the fishery. Is that the evaluation, not the opinion, but the evaluation of the Department of Fisheries, that the tags was one of the best, if not the best, conservation methods in fisheries, in the lobster industry? And was this change made just to save money?
This change more fundamentally is about seeing that harvesters that participate in fisheries should be taking on responsibility and cost responsibility for those measures for their compliance with conservation stipulations, tags being one of those types of requirements, and that they should be providing that kind of a marking of their gear at their cost. And so this change is to facilitate doing that. And the department is also, as part of moving forward with changes such as with gear tags, has said that, well, yes, we recognize the importance of tags in terms of a conservation measure and securing an orderly fishery, that we would be open to considering alternatives to tags if industry wanted to come forward with alternatives that would achieve the same outcomes as has been provided for tags. Now, when it comes to the lobster fishery, it's pretty clear that the industry is of view that tags are definitely the way to continue to proceed, and so that is what we're facilitating with the protocol that I've described that we have out and the arrangements that are now coming forward in terms of the supply of tags to the fishing industry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Balfour, but it's not your decision, it's a government decision, these changes. But most people involved in the fishery also understand that it was one of the best conservation methods in the fishery, and they certainly were not consulted and feel that it's a step backwards. I would like to ask, what was the total number of jobs lost in the Coast Guard? Where will the losses be located? And what effect do you as a department feel this will have on search and rescue times?
Okay, we're in the reorganization that we're doing in the Coast Guard. We're looking at a total of just above 300 jobs. The Coast Guard has about 4,500 employees. And the way we have looked at the reductions that we are doing, we have basically looked at the whole Coast Guard, and we have found ways to effect the reductions that would not impact on the service to citizens. And I can assure you that the level of service for SAR will be in line with all of the countries on the international basis. There is no reduction. So if you're referring to the reduction in the secondary search and rescue centers or to the MCTS, that will not impact on the search and rescue times.
Thank you very much, Mr. MacAulay. Mr. Donald.